Okay, everyone, welcome to another exhilarating episode of Not So Common Sense. Yes, I'm doing a video this time. If you listen to my podcast, which I will link in the description, you will notice that, I like to talk about things and allow videos to be played so I can just debunk them. Normally, I just play the sound because one, I don't want the video to be played, or two, I just don't have the software to actually play the videos right along with it. I'm a black man, average black man, by the way, so I'm doing this off my phone, and I'm not putting software together and stuff like that because I really don't know about it. So if you're out there and know, like, hey, here's this software you can use right along with your base computer, and it's not going to kill your computer or phone, let me know. So yeah. But anyway, this time I'm going to do Ben Shapiro. I have a video like I normally do. I'll let you listen into. Of course, as I normally do, I debunk it. So this is a 2019 video because I want to get his viewpoint on the Green New Deal. Because that's definitely important right now, dealing with the fact that, well, right now, Russia is at war with Ukraine. And real and truthfully, if we were to do any idea like I really want, was to literally cut off anything that goes to Russia and force them to, force them in starvation mode, basically, they're going to do the same thing with us when it comes to oil, which is something we've been needed to get off of, right? But anyway, I had this video. I'm going to let you listen to some parts of it, debunk it, and let you listen to some parts, some more parts. You know how I normally do. If you have my podcast, you know what I do. If you don't, I'm definitely going to link it in the description. Go get it a listen. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so everyone has the possibility of getting it. If you have a phone, an Apple phone, you can get it. If you have any type of phone that can get or download Spotify, which most do, you can get it. And it's free. I want people to support me. I do have that available on Spotify. So you can just click the link on there and support me, give me some money. That'll be very helpful. I can make this a little bit more of a better streaming for you because I do want to eventually do that, but don't have the money to stream. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the point of this, the video. Let's hear Ben's point on the Green New Deal. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be coming back a lot to debunk his ideology. It's Ben Shapiro, by the way.
Today with Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. We'll get to Virginia in just a second. Don't worry, I'll give you all the updates. But just recently, breaking news, she has released a brand new plan, a Green New Deal plan that changes America forever. Because she's a fresh face. So fresh, so face. So Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez got in a Twitter fight with my business partner, Jeremy Boring, last night. Jeremy made the point on Twitter that I had made yesterday on the show because we steal from each other on a routine basis. That's why we make great business partners. He made the point that she is, in fact, not a victim. Well, she has been claiming to be a victim and cheering herself for being a woman in Congress. And she tweeted something back about how the fact that she is the only 29-year-old bartender in Congress means that Congress is just not representative.
So, did you hear? She said that she's the only 29-year-old bartender in Congress. So, what does that mean? Does Ben pay attention to the fact that, average Americans aren't represented in Congress? Which what she is trying to say, by the way? She's trying to say average people aren't represented in Congress. Ben, none of these people here are average individuals. All of them are highly, highly rich and have tremendous amounts of money. Very rich. Lots of money. Crazy amounts of money. Ridiculous amounts of money. While she is a bartender, bartenders do not make hourly wage, by the way. They make less than that because they have the ability to be paid less than that. They got the ability to be paid less than minimum wage. because they get to say they make it up in tips, but they don't make any, right? And businesses know that. They know that they don't make any tips. So they get to lie and say, well, they making up the wages with tips, when they know they don't even get tips, right? So she made it to Congress as an average person. More as that's the most average you're going to get as an average individual. No one else is there. Donald Trump was not an average person. He was rich. I don't think a person who is on The Apprentice on television, lavishly wealthy, hanging it up with, Vince McMahon on WWE, is going to be called an average individual. Right? Joe Biden, not an average individual. A career politician. Bush, his whole fucking family was a part of politics forever. There haven't been people like that. Average people in Congress. And she's the only person that happened to be a regular bartender off the street working a 9-to-5 hourly wage that happened to become part of Congress, which is what she's saying. That's a problem. That's a problem. If you don't understand it, let's put it like this. If you happen to need help for some people, and these individuals had the power to do whatever you wanted or what they wanted, would you want people who don't know or even fathom the type of problems you had to deal with? They always say, well, I don't deal with that, so hey, it's not my problem. Or do you want people to be able to understand, oh yeah, I went through that before. I understand how that is. I can fix that. It's up to you. Which one would you pick? I'm pretty sure I'm picking the person that actually understands the situation I've been in. Not somebody who can never even fathom the problems I had. Because they're so lavishly rich that they can never even think that a situation like that can ever happen. Difference between what's going on now, what Ben is talking about. Yes, that's a big difference. Let's let him continue.
Which makes no sense at all, by the way, because if we were just to take a demographic breakdown out of like 500 people, how many are 29-year-old bartenders? Maybe one out of 500 people across America. I don't think the demographics work out that way. Also, it doesn't.
And of course, he focused on the dumbest part of it, of saying, well, let's focus on the specific age. Dickhead. Which is the reason why people call you dickhead. Dumbass. She's trying to say that individuals who are in Congress, not basic people, the individuals in Congress, meaning those members of Congress, those House representatives, those Senate individuals, those people, she's saying that none of those have been a bartender. None of those are regular people. That's what she's trying to get across. Understand that there have never been average people. They're not normal individuals like you have on the street that you see outside. The people that they normally are responsible for, that they're supposed to be representing, they're nowhere near those type of individuals. Let's let them continue.
Make any sense to suggest that the American Congress is supposed to be broken down demographically akin to the American population, because we have majoritarian voting in the United States. 53% of voters in the United States are women, which means that if women voted as a bloc, everyone in Congress would be a woman. So that's not how voting works. That's not how representation works.
That's not what she's saying. She's saying that it should be broken down between the type of people that they represent, not by percentage. That there should be individuals there. There's nobody. There should not be a situation where there's zero individuals until she arrives, and she's the only one that represents the average American. There should be people out there that have came from the average population. Since you're going to be representing these people, you should have someone to be able to understand their lifestyle. Because who are you going to, like, let's be real. If you lived a certain lifestyle, who are you going to fight for? If you are ultra wealthy and super rich, are you going to be able to fathom or fight for average Americans? Or are you going to look for your ultra rich pals? Let's let him continue.
But AOC doesn't know things, but she has great fashion sense, and she can make stuff in an instant pot, and she's sassy, so that's all that counts. And now she has a brilliant new Green New Deal plan.
What the fuck was that all about? That's sexist anyway. Sexist and, of course, classism. He's ultra wealthy and can't understand the fact that she's an average person. And, of course, she's famous for being an average person. Yes, her looks are something that helps out with that because she's a woman that looks good. That's can't be beneficial. Well, sure, if you can use it, use it. As an average person, I don't give a damn what she does. If it comes to help me out, yeah, do it. Oh, Trey, I use my great looks to wow Congress into making sure that they raise the minimum wage. Go right ahead, Eros. I don't care. Use your pheromones to make sure that Trey get a boost in his wages. He gets more money back on his taxes because you take so much out but don't give me anything back. Right? But anyway, let's let him continue because now he's finally getting into the Green New Deal.
And it is so brilliant that even people on the left are laughing at it today because it's just absurd. So she has now released her Green New Deal plan. Here's the overview. I love it so much. It's so great because this is the future, guys. And if you don't embrace the future, it's because you're afraid of the future. Like, unbelievable. You're unbelievably afraid of the future. Like, if people would just think, like, about 20 years, like, down the line.
Shut up. Let's get to it.
Great. Lachlan Markey over at, I'm trying to remember which publication he's with right now. He has this story. It says, this is a massive transformation of our society with clear goals and a timeline. The Green New Deal resolution, a 10-year plan to mobilize every aspect of American society at a scale not seen since World War II to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions and create economic prosperity for all. It will move America to 100% clean and renewable energy. She's saying this over 10 years. Create millions of family-supporting wage union jobs. Ensure a just transition for all communities and workers to ensure economic security for people and communities that have historically relied on fossil fuel industries. You mean like all of the...
So, basically, what she's trying to say is it's a revolutionary idea. Something that will take years to implement, but of course, it's a starting point. This is the idea of the Green New Deal. Basically, it moves us off of the dependence on fossil fuel and gives us more focus on green and renewable energy. So, let's take for the fact that, let's say, all the Exxon Mobils and BPs and things like that decided to say, well, we're going to say bye-bye to those guys and not give any more loopholes to them. Close those loopholes up and start opening up loopholes and doing things and giving money to these renewable energy sources and companies that deal 100% in that. And we build up the infrastructure for things like electric cars. For every gas station, there is an electric car station. So let's say if you drive down the street and you see like 2 or 3 gas stations, guess what you're also going to see? 2 to 3 electric stations. You see those 2 to 3 gas stations have about 4 to 6 gas pumps. Guess what you're going to see? Those electric stations have 2 to 3 or even more, since they take up less space, electric stations, right? We give tax breaks for companies that create electric cars, and then we pass it down to those who buy them. We give them the same features and things like that of regular cars. Make them as cheap as you possibly can. Right? All right, this, a brand new electric car is going to be $14,000 compared to the 28s or 20s. Brand new, state of the art, and has the same amount of room. This can happen because, of course, the government is now giving these tax breaks that they normally do to gas guzzling organizations to these electric and renewable energy sources. Think how many jobs that would create. Just really. Think how many jobs that would create. Jobs that, of course, since these will be like gas stations, will need regular people there to attend to these stations. Right? That doesn't mean that gas is going to go away. We don't need to prop it up. See, that's the point. You see, Republicans like him and conservatives like him are afraid of giving green energy and renewable sources any inch because they know that's actually beneficial for you. What's beneficial for you is less beneficial for them. Right?
Industries in the United States, literally all of them, and just ensure justice and equity for frontline communities by prioritizing investment, training, climate and community resiliency, economic and environmental benefits in these communities. Build on FDR's second Bill of Rights by guaranteeing a job with a family-sustaining wage, family and medical leave, vacations, and retirement security. So this is all part of her plan.
That's just a lot of legalese that she just said, by the way. Seriously, if Ben Shapiro don't understand it, there's a lot of legalese. The only thing it does is guaranteeing you family medical leave and time off, and guaranteeing people a job. Meaning that people have the right to vote, and have the right to work. A job, you just can't be poor, right? If you put in like 500 applications, 500 job applications, and you're like, I'll put in about 500 applications, all to these jobs that I can apply to, and every single last one of them turned me down. The government will come in and say, hold on. That's not right. And look into it. Oh, wait. Yeah, they were discriminating against you because you were black. Oh, okay. Hey, one of these 500 jobs you want to work? Oh, what was that one? Yeah, y'all got any room? Let me see. Yeah, no, we don't. Last I checked, you have an application up right now. Can we come up there and take a look? Oh, you got a whole completely white, company. Everybody white. I wonder why you to turn down this individual for a job. I can understand. That's not right. They'll come in and help you out. But basically, he's basically trying to mandate family medical leave, which should be there. That has nothing to do with the fact that the business will lose money, because not that many people are getting pregnant. By the way, he's supposed to be against abortion before and, pro-life. But again, he's conservative. They're two-faced. They're pro-life but don't want to do anything to actually help out that life.
Everyone in the United States is going to have a job guaranteed by the federal government. High-quality education, including higher...
Hear that. I just want to get, what's wrong with that? Government is guaranteeing that all of its workers, again, by the way, that doesn't mean that you have to work for the rest of your life, or the individuals that are retired or working. No, that means if you're able to work and you're looking for a job, the government will come in and be able to help you get a job. And it's free for you. Your taxpayer money is paid for this already. Nothing is saying that your tax money is going to say, oh no, your taxes are going up. No, it's like for right now, the money that you're paying into your taxes right now guarantees this. Right, so I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. And don't forget, this is basically an idea. You can try to implement it. Again, you know how laws go. Certain things get implemented, certain things get taken out. What have you. But let's let the video continue.
Education and trade schools guaranteed by the federal government. Healthy food, clean air and water, and access to nature. So I guess we're going to be busing people out.
So, access to nature. What does that mean? That means that you have the ability, if you want to go for a hike in the nearest park, the government will be able to have basic transportation, public transportation that's just designated for that.
To the forest.
Yes, you'll be able to bus people to the forest. Is that anywhere near weird? Is that weird? Why is that weird? Why is that weird? That's not weird. That should be perfectly fine and dandy. Yes, you'll be able to, your basic infrastructure will be created, and they'll give public transportation. New jobs, by the way. Anytime you hear create something, that means there's new jobs, by the way, which allows for people to guarantee new jobs and allows the people to be guaranteed a job. So they'll be able to take public transportation to your nearest park. Just think about this. As an average person who lives in a big city like this, let's say you live in Baltimore, how many places can you go to taking public transportation that's like a park? Come on. If you want to go to a park and to go for a hike, you thinking, man, I'm not in Nevada. I can't go to some, place like that, Sahara, Nevada, and go for a hike. I'm not living in those type of areas. I can't go there. You think there's no areas like that here in Baltimore? But here's the key. You have to drive to them. It's only available to people who drive. Public transportation will be to take you to these parks. And that's what she wants in a Green New Deal, where these parks they'll literally create these parks for that reason. There'll be these public transportation. You have these areas and these basically government-owned areas, these parks and nature that you can just go to whenever you want. Your taxpayer money is paying for it, and you can just jump on the bus whenever you want. It takes you over there, and you can go out there. Think about that. So people like me who's off on the weekends, basically off. I work 1 o'clock on Saturdays, but anyway, I'm off on the weekend, and we had some times where I have a 3-day weekend because a holiday, like a national holiday, pops up. Bam. National holiday pops up. Bam. I have a 3-day weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm going to go out on Saturday, after work. Been there until Sunday night. Come back and wash clothes on Monday and get prepared for Tuesday for work. Me and my girl just want to go out there and enjoy nature. Go for a nature hike and whatnot. And sleep out under the stars in a tent and shit. All that good shit. Camping type shit. Things that I right now can't do because I'm not spending my time trying to go find the nearest park to maybe like 2-hour drive away because it's like over there in Rockville, Maryland. Right? No. She said, no. It's going to be perfectly accessible for you, Trey. You're going to take public transportation, free of charge. By the way, only thing you got to pay for is go there and pay for the tents and shit and all that hiking shit that you want to do. If you want to be all high tech and whatnot because you don't want to get lost, go right ahead and go ahead and do that. Me and my girl can enjoy each other's time outside in the wilderness. Hell, I love to do that. Shit, I love to do that. Go out there and go on the park and shit. But we can't do that. Not right now. Is anything so far sounding bad? Let's let the video continue.
High quality healthcare guaranteed by the federal government. Safe.
High quality healthcare guaranteed by the government. Meaning, all your basics are taken care of. This is, of course, the thing that has been hyped tremendously by the left so much that it's becoming a meme. Universal health care. Canada has it right up to the north. Hell, I even think Mexico has it to the south. And people are leaving Mexico, by the way. Because it's ran by cartels. So the cartels down there in Mexico are paying for your health care. If I'm correct. Don't know if I'm right or not, but pretty much I think like the United States is probably basically the only place that don't take care of your health care. Other than that, you got the third world countries that don't have any type of health care whatsoever. That's, still hunting and gathering and shit. Using bows and arrows to hunt food. Those places. But nothing that's, part of the industrialized world doesn't have healthcare covered. Let's let it continue.
Affordable, adequate housing guaranteed by the federal government. And economic...
Affordable housing. So, affordable housing guaranteed by the government. Meaning that the government be the competition out there for these actual companies. Because so far, you know how companies do, they partner up together and say, we're not going to pay more than this, not going to pay more than that. And that's what's going on right now. And hence the reason why I'm living in a apartment building that really costs us about $1,000, but I'm paying $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $2,100, right? And by the way, they can kick you out for being black. Well, short of being black. That's it. They can't kick you out for being black, but they can kick you out for anything else. You have a cat? Oh, get kicked out. We only separate dogs now. They could have accepted cats, by the way. Change their policy. If you got a cat, you got to get out. Or vice versa. We change the policies and got a dog, get out. Nothing else. You could be paying your rent on time and hell, paid it up for the whole goddamn year that you're there. Because they normally give you a year. By the year, that means 12 to 14 or 16 months. You can pay it all up in one go. They change the policy one day, now you're gone, and no, you're not getting your money back. That's crazy, right? But the company comes in and say, well, to try to stop homelessness, which, of course, Republicans and conservatives like him try to fake like they care about when it's convenient. Homelessness. How do you stop it? Well, Green New Deal comes in, doesn't it? How do you stop homelessness? Just like what I always say, best way to stop homelessness is a double-edged sword. You cut off at both ends. You give individuals who are homeless abilities to try to get off of those drugs and, of course, and get them homes and shit so they can try to actually live a good life. You give them access to that. The ones that don't take it, oh well, you don't fucking care about those. The ones that do, you care about them and take care of them. And then, of course, you cut off at the other end by preventing it. So you give people homes and you give people jobs and stability. So people who are working hard and going to work every day don't feel like they're not making enough money and something about where's my money going. I'm working 75 hours a day. For some reason, I don't know how the hell I do it in a day, but 75 hours and I'm coming back home with a $300 check. Where's coming out of my check? Oh, it's all coming out of my taxes. Why is that? I don't know. But, I'm struggling. Why can't I get any help? Jeff Bezos getting a refund check. He doesn't even pay taxes. Why is he getting a refund check if he doesn't pay taxes? You don't get to hear anything like that. The government comes in and says, yeah, it's your money and you need it now. Here's a home. Here's free access to parks and recreation. So when you retired and you have a day off finally, you get to leave. They give you holidays off. They give you time off. They're giving you, basically trying to give you access to vacations because Americans just don't take vacations because they're paranoid about losing their jobs. Let the video continue.
environment free of monopolies, and economic security for all who are unable or unwilling to work. Unwilling to work. Economic security for people who don't even want to work or just want to sit around all day.
Economic security for people who are unwilling to work. By that means individuals that have, because this is the difference between unwilling to work. It's the idea of work. No, this is not meaning that you get to sit home and just say, This is saying for individuals who are doing this, like I'm doing, or what he is doing, that's not called basically work, because it's on YouTube. It's free. YouTube is doing this for free. It's free. It's not work. Trey would like it to be a job. Ben has made it into a job, but that's not actually work. What they consider work is like being an organization and being owned by someone, is what she's trying to say. Someone's owned, or you own this store and actually go out there doing labor. This is not labor. It gives people money to do that, because things like this still gives back to society, by the way. Because people like Trey gets to sit home on his day off, watch videos on YouTube, which is free. Only thing I'm paying for is the internet behind me. And he gets to make that money doing so. The government will pay you to do it. Also, the unwilling part has to be stated because of people who are retired. See, this is the point about Ben that he doesn't understand. She has to craft her words so it can grasp certain individuals. She don't want to say retired, obviously, because a lot of people don't retire. Some people get fired and are looking for jobs. The government will come in with a paycheck while you're looking for it. So you're not living off of, basically hoping that you get fired and is a wrongful termination and your job just doesn't say that you voluntarily quit. Because don't forget, it's about the terms. Because you don't get unemployment if you voluntarily quit. You get unemployment if you're fired. And your job is the only person that dictates that. They can straight up fire you and say, Trey, you're fired, here's your pink slip, but then go back behind your back and put that you voluntarily quit. That's where the government comes in.
Hey, watching reruns of Golden Girls. What? Okay. We're just getting started, guys. I mean, this is just the beginning of the Green New Deal plan, which, as I say, is just spectacular. It is just spectacular. By the way, Lachlan is a reporter for the Daily Beast. It says, in this outline, it says, there is no time to waste. The IPCC report said global emissions must be cut by 40 to 60% by 2030. U.S. is 20% of total emissions. We must get to zero by 2030 and lead the world in a global Green New Deal. Now, again, this is forgetting the fact that all of the developing countries are providing the...
But the United States are not doing jack shit to cut emissions, by the way. Everyone else, including India, is doing things to help cut emissions. The United States is actually increasing theirs. They're doing nothing. She's trying to say, in order to protect the environment, which Ben Shapiro doesn't give a fuck about, because, of course, by the time 2030 comes around, he about ready to croak. Right? He'd be about ready to croak. He doesn't give a shit about what happens to the environment, because he ain't going to be around. Like, oh, your kids get to struggle because, Ben Shapiro and his gas guzzling, buddies that he's getting money from that destroyed the environment. All the old fucks died off because they didn't give a shit. Because like, oh yeah, I'm dead anyway. By the time that comes up. Yeah. That's the reason.
Our moonshot. Yeah, a couple of things about Americans love a challenge. We do like a challenge. You know what we don't like? The challenge of burning our house down. If somebody comes up to you on the street and they're like, you know what? Challenge. Go home.
So, let me see.
Americans love a challenge. We do like a challenge. You know what we don't like? The challenge of burning our house down.
So,
if somebody comes up to you on the street and they're like, you know
what the fuck is this all about?
Challenge. Go home. Take kerosene. Pour it all over your roof.
What is this all about?
Beat the crap out of your car. Just go smash those headlights. Break the wind.
See, this is the point what Ben Shapiro don't understand. Like, he goes on these tangents that actually makes absolutely no sense.
Right, because you should always ask how you're going to pay for things. That's like an important thing. It's just when FDR called on.
How are you going to pay for it? Yay! He finally said it! He finally said it. Ben, when Trump took all that money and he, took all the taxes out for the ultra wealthy, did we say how you're going to pay for it? Hey, Ben, when Congress comes together and they go over the military budget, do we ever hear anybody say, when they increase the military budget, how are we going to pay for it? Have you ever heard that? No, you never hear that. See, that's the reason why it's like I say I love to debate them. So how many times do we hear about how you gonna pay for it when it comes to the military budget? Does anybody say that? Oh, they don't. They don't say that. They don't say that? Why? Because we just fucking pay for it anyway? We say we figure it out later? So instead of giving money to military contractors so they can go shoot brown people and leave trillion-dollar planes and jets to go and start to rust up in the atmosphere, rust outside in the ether and just go to waste. And we say, oh, well, we just go ahead and take these military-class weaponry and fighter jets and planes and shit, and we go ahead and kick it down to the goddamn police so they can play around with it in the streets of a city and shoot black people and use it on black people. No. Because can anybody tell us who we are actively at war with? Wait. Nobody. Even in this time period, we weren't actively, this 2019, we weren't actively at war with anybody. You can say that, Iraq and Afghanistan war and shit, but that's not an active war. We're not actively sending people over every damn day. And we gotta remember, we gotta mobilize people for the war. No, we don't have war bonds going out. No, we're not actively at war with anyone. So, what she said, when he says, how are we going to pay for it? Military budget. Yeah. You always say, do you ask for the military budget? How are we going to pay for it? Hey, Ben, how many times do we ask about how we going to pay for the military budget? Oh, we never do? Oh, so the same way we don't ask for how we're going to pay for the military budget, we treat this the exact same way. Except for the military budget going to a bunch of rich old white people who get to send young black people to go to die because they've been allured by their local high school ROTC to go run and gun and say, oh yeah, you're actually going to be recognized and celebrated and shit like that. And they go over there and die for no reason but to keep increasing fossil fuel companies' paycheck. And old white military people who get to say, well, this is what I want you to go do. Take your black ass and jump on that landmine. Yeah. Yeah. You don't do that. You don't do that, Ben. You don't do that. What you do is you take that same ideology and maybe some of that same money and put it to good use. Finally pumping up that infrastructure for the electric and renewable energy. Why? Because eventually all the oil is going to disappear. And then what? We're going to be trying to hustle up and try to create these renewable energy sources that we should have been created 1,000 years ago. And what's going to happen? Of course, warfare is going to happen because you're going to be going over to those Saudis and trying to kill each other for the little bit of, scrums of oil while the environment is going to hell. And it's going to lead to the apocalypse. Really. A barren wasteland. And we're trying to fix up everything, get to renewable sources later on. And then, of course, the conservatives, we've been saying that for years. We should be going for renewable energy. It's all on the Democrats. It's all on those lefties, the progressives who are doing that. Who, if you have even the slightest, you go back to 2019. You're like, oh wait, that Green New Deal that y'all trying to implement now, they were talking about that. AOC's grandchildren. AOC's grandchildren with 5 greats around. Yeah, those people. Now y'all want to try to do it? That's the point. Like, you never hear how you going to pay for something when it comes to conservatives. But they try to say how you going to pay for it, they don't really give a fuck. Because you can write down everything down to the penny, and they'll try to find a way past it. The point is, how we pay for it? Do you ask how are we going to pay for this stuff with the military budget? No, you didn't. Every time the military budget comes up, we never hear people talk about how you're going to pay for it. We just pay for it, right? We take the same initiative and do it that way. This is the reason why I wanted to do this. Because I wanted to hear how he taxed. So far, real and truthfully, he makes fun of it like a little 12-year-old kid, makes sly comments. But again, he has absolutely nothing that's actually against the Green New Deal, by the way. He actually doesn't have anything that actually says, yeah, this is a problem. He doesn't have anything that actually says, well, this is a bad idea. Because, again, it's not. If you pay attention to what the Green New Deal is about, creating green new jobs, not saying that we're not going to support oil and gas companies. They are still there. They're not saying that we're going to get rid of oil and gas companies. They're still there. They don't need the help anymore. They can stand up on their own footing. If the government stops giving subsidies to these companies, what's going to happen? You think that do you really think that the government finally comes up to ExxonMobil and say, well, we're going to start giving subsidies to ExxonMobil, that the literally next day, ExxonMobil is going to be closing up shop, saying, all right, we got to close up all our stores, all our gas companies, all our, gas stations. We're closing them all down. We're going out of business. Come on now. Even Ben can't say that. And boy, he will lie right out of his goddamn ass. But no, they're not going to say that. They still going to be up and be around. Same thing with BP. Do you think that if, the government goes to some of these small electric companies and start to give them subsidies and things like that, and actually give them actual fucking money sometimes, and help them build themselves up and actually go out there and build infrastructure for them, right? For these companies, these gas companies, hell, maybe even some of these, electric companies that are actually out there, like, Constellation Energy. I'm going to say the other company, but, the bigger one, Constellation Energy itself, that does here in Maryland, builds up electric stations. And hell, they can even say, since it's on your bill, since you're already paying for it on your bill, you can just charge up for free. How would that work? Oh, that'd be great. And they start to have these buybacks, which is another way government can actually help out with renewable sources and give people cars. You can say, we'll be buying back your cars. So you'll take the value of your car right now, your actual literal debt that you have for your car, your car payments. You exchange that for an electric car. If it's less, if the electric car is less, you will be clean free. You get a brand new car. If it's more, you pay the difference, right? So if you come out there and you got 2001 vehicle, and you're trying to go for you're trying to bump yourself up to one of these damn, for F-150s, all electric, the Thunder ones, you're going to have to pay some money on that. That's a brand new car. Yours is, literally 21 years old, right? 21 years old. You're going to have to pay a difference. It's not going to be a whole new payment, but it's going to be a small payment that you have to pay, right? Okay, you can do that way. for me, I got a 2020 vehicle. I can go take it in, trade that in. That's a 2 year difference. Trade may go inside to say, I'm going to take a car that's actually less than the payment that I'm paying on my vehicle. All right, take your vehicle, bam, they call up Wells Fargo, the government pays Wells Fargo for that, because that's where I got my car payment from. Wells Fargo, yeah, it's gone, Wells Fargo, he's done. Right? He's done. The government gives me a brand new car. All electric. Have all the same amenities, because of course it would, that my car has, with all the safety features. Right? And accent satellite radio, which I had to pay for. I just transferred that over onto that vehicle. I'm still paying for it. No difference. That's great. What happens is these buybacks. But Trey, that's going to lead to a bunch of cars just sitting there. No, it doesn't. See, this is the thing about renewable sources and green products and recycling. That vehicle is nothing more than scrap and aluminum. They're going to take everything out of it, all the parts out of it, take it apart, whatever left, they're going to reuse for another vehicle. That's the point about doing things and having renewable sources. See, the idea, you got to think of this whole idea. So you got to have an actual imagination, like you used to have when you was a kid. Imagination, because people like Ben, we would never even made it to the moon. Truthfully. He would have said, wow, we waste all this money and possibility of getting to the moon. We wouldn't even have the possibility of cars. Why are we even trying to work? We should have horse and buggy. Fuck the horse and buggy. We shouldn't even have horse and buggy. Why can't we just use our own 2 feet? Trying to actually train a horse, that's ridiculous. And then connect a wagon to that thing, now you're going to carry it. It's people like him. And I wanted to hear, and I let it play for some time period. I mean, I've been almost a whole hour. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, he can't find, and I was really trying to find, I was trying to find his approach to it. He doesn't have anything. It's not anything real. It's not anything real. He has no actual approach to it. Why he's against it. He's just against it. And I looked. I mean, seriously, I looked and I tried. I let the video play. Only thing I hear is him making fun of it for the sake of making fun of it. He doesn't have anything that actually says, well, here's the problem with it. He brings up how we pay for it. The same way you pay for the military budget. That increases every year. Significantly increases every year. Even though we're not actually at war with anybody. The same way we do that is going to be the same way we pay for this Green New Deal. Also, have you heard about taxing the rich? Yes. And don't give me that bullshit about, well, if you tax the rich, they're just going to pass it on to the average American. No, they don't. Huh? Trey, they will pass it on to the average American, I hear, right? Trey, they do. They pass it on to the average American. No, they won't. Here's the reason why they won't. Because there's a thing called competition, and there's a thing called just people paying. Not everything can just be increased exponentially, infinitely, without people just saying, I'm not going to do it. Like, yes, you pay gas companies can raise their prices up significantly. But with this Green New Deal going on, that just means they go out of business. So that's a problem. That's number one. But number two, McDonald's. McDonald's try to say now their, basic generic hamburger is going to cost $50. The meal is going to be $100. Because they're trying to pass all the taxes that's going to go on to them onto the general public. Are you going to go to McDonald's? Or Chick-fil-A is going to say, well, we're going to pay our taxes because we can, and we're going to keep our prices the same, actually going to pay our workers more money. What do you think is going to happen? The people that work for McDonald's are going to go where? Chick-fil-A. And the people who buying products from McDonald's are going to go where? Chick-fil-A. And what's going to happen to McDonald's? It goes out of business. Because it's trying to say, because these ultra-rich individuals don't want to get rid of one of their 500 mega yachts, sell one of those mega yachts and call it a day. You can take it. And by the way, for the individuals who say, well, that'll be a problem. No, it doesn't as well. Again, you got to understand what happens with things like raising wages and things like that. It actually benefits the company. Because why? Those wages in which you raise have to come somewhere. People have to spend the money. Individuals just don't save all their money and then call it a day. It has to be spent. So what happens? Individuals have time and money. They do things with their time and money, which does what? Benefit the company. That's not me saying this. That's Henry Ford. Because he's the one who created the idea of the general weekend. He gave his workers off on Saturday and Sunday because he believed that Saturday they'll be out there spending money doing things that will eventually come back to him. If you drive in on those cars will have to be driven and they'll go and break down. And guess what? You'll have to buy a car. What happens if you have to buy a car? Who you going to go to? Henry Ford. Guess what? You have to drive with no tires. If you have no tires, they get worn out. Guess what you're going to have to do? Go to Henry Ford for those tires. Again, he was a racist, by the way. A racist white man. And even he knew. Give people time, give people money, allow them to do things. And guess what happens? It comes back to you. Right now, yes, you probably wouldn't have hired black people, but if you was alive, guess what he would have done? Guess what he would have been for? Oh, you bet it. He would have raised the minimum wage. He said, all right, give my workers $20 an hour. Because here's the thing. What does that do? It generates good publicity for me. So my company will be the one that says, I'm paying my workers $20 an hour. What are you paying? $7.25? You want to work for them or you want to work for me? $20 an hour. Guess what that does? It generates a population pool. So if you had those, people who just don't want to work or you just want to get rid of somebody, guess what? You always have a replacement. You see how that works? See, when you really think about things and actually focus on things, you say, oh, wait, no, that's actually beneficial for the company. Why do you think it's now, right now, Amazon is talking about, oh, we pay our workers $15 an hour. But guess what? You were against that. You was actually wanting to pay them $12. The same job you're paying that right now that they have, you want to pay them $12. And you didn't want to give them any damn benefits. But now Amazon is hyping on their $15 an hour wage and their benefits. Work for Amazon, you get $15 an hour plus benefits. How that work? And oh yeah, who won the richest man in America? Oh yeah, Jeff Bezos. Oh yeah, who owns Amazon? Jeff Bezos. Oh wait, so the one of the richest men in the world are paying their workers $15 an hour, willing to pay more if you just push them, and get benefits? Me thinks there's something to that. It's like with the Green New Deal. You see, if you just go out there and take the initiative to do things, you'd be surprised and see what you can do. The technology out there right now that's at our fingertips that we can deal with will boggle your mind. Like I always try to tell people, if I ask people, what is the most technologically advanced country in the world? The one that has the most technology. Everyone always think of an Asian country, right? Oh, it's Japan. Oh, it's South Korea. Oh, it's some Asian country out there. No, the most technologically advanced country in the world, right now in the world, is the United States of America. Think about it. of all those patents and all those companies that we have under our fingertip, most of those companies are American, are owned by America, or have patents in America. The problem is we're not using it. Every time we come to saying we should use it, we don't do it. Think about this. Japan is willing to make a literal life-size Gundam just for the fucking hell of it, because they can. You try to do that here in America, you won't get conservatives saying, why would you even do that? What's the purpose of doing that? Why would we do that? How would we do that? Where's the money going to come from? Who's going to get the money? Where's the money going to come from? Why are we doing it with the money? They always will be against it. And that would limits this country. The fact that conservatives just don't want to do it. But, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson wants to fly out into space because they just have nothing to do and they're bored. Hey, let's do it. It's good. Let's watch these rich people fly in space. But wait, if we can give each American an electric vehicle, have renewable sources, guarantee them jobs, pay them money for just being fucking American citizens, which would be a good idea, for those individuals that can call themselves patriots. Well, how about forcing the government to actually do stuff for you, right? What happened to that whole idea of, taxation with representation? Well, which representation? Flying out in space with Jeff Bezos, who doesn't pay taxes, by the way. They can cut him a check, refund check, give him, millions of dollars, billions of dollars, not even millions, billions of dollars, just so he can fly in space. Actually allow NASA to be used for free, by the way. He don't pay anything. For free. Just so he can fly in space and we can watch him on television as he gets to fly into space and enjoy himself. Wait. According to the Jetsons, I should have a flying car. Guess what? We can. Trade flying cars. We can. We have the money to create the infrastructure for that to happen. Well, the space and the navigation and all this, the ideology and shit like that will be crazy. The navigation for people flying will be just outlandish. Said the same thing about just that flying period. I know back then with the Wright brothers, when they first flew a plane, they were like, oh man, they're never going to be able to fly. Just as stupid. Why are you spending money on flying the fucking plane? Why would you even build the infrastructure to pay to fly a plane? There's no use in actually doing that. What's the ideology? How are we going to pay for it? They were saying the same shit. But guess what? Someone took the initiative, did it. The government actually supported it, said it was a good idea. They saw the actual benefit of actually having planes out there. They said, there's so much space up there. We can actually use that space up there to actually fly people from part A to part B and actually be able to use that. It cuts down the travel time from months and years to just a few hours. Oh wow, yeah, that's a great idea. We should try that. And what happened? All of a sudden now it's like, why wouldn't we fly? You try to get rid of planes? That'd be crazy. That's ridiculous trying to get rid of planes. How are people able to get to work? And conservatives beating their chest like, well, we knew it all along. That was a great idea. We should have been. We telling you should have been did that. No, you was against it. You were against it. No, you were against it. Be real with yourself. You were against it. And that's the point. We need to go out there and do these things. We are America. We call ourselves the best country on planet Earth. But we don't have any way to prove it. Technology-wise, we always think of Japan. Always think of China. We always think of Korea, some Asian country. Education. Dead last in education, including next to goddamn, rural countries. Like, really? Ridiculous. We have to go out there prove it. Hey, remember, we had to go to the moon. What did he say? We chose to do it not because it was easy, but because it was hard to do. Prove these Russians that we can do things better than they can. You can send a damn piece of object out there pretty easy. We're going to send human beings out there and bring them back. And guess what? What did we do? Send human beings out there and brought their asses right the fuck back. Now we do it on the regular like it's crazy. That's what the Green New Deal is about. Let's do things. Make America great again. By having people say, damn, of course America did it. Right now we're always hearing about Russia or China or something else dealing with space. And they naming things. America's be naming shit. How you call yourself a patriot and you want America to look like a chump? I'm sorry. These white people, these idiot white people want to say America's great. Let's make America great again. All right, how you going to make America great? By getting rid of people that are minorities? Fuck that idea. No, we want to make America great. Let's actually do things. Let's actually make things in America. Fuck, we don't need China. Fuck them. Get those companies to come back here. Tell them to shut down shop over there in China. Build things here in America. Give them loopholes to build here in America. American-made things. 100% American-made. Nothing outsourced. See, if you do that, when things are being made 100% in America and not outsourced, you get loopholes for it. Had them shut down shop over there, those sweatshops over there in China, and say, yeah, you pay your workers more money, you get more loophole, more of a tax break. You see, the government should be doing things like that for the people. These loopholes and tax breaks should be there for the average American, to benefit the average American. You give these companies, you cut down all those that do nothing for them and force them to put action out there and force them to do things that actually benefit the average American. And guess what? Then they get these tax breaks. Then they get these loopholes. And what will happen? These companies are going to do what? They're going to start shutting down shop there in China. Let go of those sweatshop workers. You know, don't give a fuck about the sweatshop workers. They do whatever the fuck you want with them. We're going to come over here, American-made things, 100% American-made. We're going to give, you know, increase the wages of these workers, real wages, you know, actually meaning by you're not cutting away their time either, all right? You actually can give them more time if they want to work, you know, but you don't increase the time, you increase their wages, and you, of course, you give them, you know, 100% made in America. Guess what starts to happen? China will no longer own us. You no longer have to hear about, oh, we owe China so much, we can't pay them back ever. We better put a middle finger to China and say, shut the fuck up. Same thing with Russia. Shut the fuck up. Things like this is happening right now with Russia attacking Ukraine. Put the middle finger to Russia. All right, you're going to turn off all your energy over there. What you going to do? You don't own us. You don't do shit. Shut the fuck up. We America. We are the bullies. We need to get back to doing that. How you show you're the bullies? You don't go out there and shoot missiles at poor brown people. No, you pick fight with the biggest guy out there. Russia want to invade Ukraine, we turn off everything over there. Starve their goddamn fucking people. Take out all their goddamn oil. Russia try to do the same with us, you laughing. We think we depend on oil? Right? You do that. Oh, we want to take our oil back. We don't depend on oil, bitch. Y'all do. That's why the Green New Deal would be great for right now. How would it feel? How would it feel? Vladimir Putin, dumbass, you know, we cut off all his oil over there and we embargo, stop anything from going over there. And he tried to cut off his little bit of oil that he have over here. We could laugh at him. What? You did what? Oh, really? We don't depend on oil, you dumbass. You want me to do shit? This whole thing with Ukraine will be over in a couple of days. Oh, he's pulling troops away. I bet you would. Why? Because the people over there are starving. They got rifles just like ours. They bullets hit just like ours. And we're still have it. He know full well. Even his goddamn, protection gonna turn on him real quick. Pull a bullet. You want to stay over there in Ukraine while people over there starving to death. And they looking worse than North Korea. Okay, bam, he's done. Dead. Easy. Right? That's why I said it's been great for us to have the Green New Deal time periods like this. Because they won't be able to do shit. Because, see, that's the whole idea is making it back to where America was at before, when we were the titan of infrastructure and the titan of industry. Go back to when Detroit was great, when it was pushing out all those all those vehicles and shit like that. And all that industry and shit like that, right? Manufacturing. Here in the United States. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Things had the title Made in America. It was actually meant something, right? Like it does now with Germany. Oh, this German-made steel. Fuck that. German-made steel. I want the American-made shit. That's why the Green New Deal is so good. It will lead stuff like that. Things being made in America. See, the thing is, that's the reason why I have a problem with conservatives. They try to make themselves seem like they're patriotic and they, for America, right? We are the patriots, right? They try to use that title but don't know what the fuck it means. They ain't patriotic. None of them are patriots. Oh, you for the Green New Deal so you can go back to having things made in America? Oh, no, you for Donald Trump who, outsourced everything to China and kissing and eating the ass of Vladimir Putin. Oh, that's patriotic. Like Fox News right now, celebrating Vladimir Putin for everything he does. Spit at Joe Biden, our president, and celebrate Vladimir Putin for being a real man. He go out there and he takes the country he wants. We should celebrate Vladimir Putin. What the fuck? What are you doing, Tucker? That's a fucking dumbass idea. What you doing, Ben? You shouldn't be celebrating them. The real patriotic thing would be for the Green New Deal. Creating renewable sources. Having things made in America again. Actually doing things that's for American citizens. Right? Taxing the ultra wealthy. America can actually pay its citizens. Damn right you should pay your citizens. If you really pay attention, you were saying, hold up, yes, I want for the country that I live in to pay me money. If you are for small government, if you're for the government actually doing things, if you hate the government that you have right now, don't you think you'd do a refund check? I mean, come on. Be real. You'd do a refund check. Come on. Like, think about it. If a business wronged you, let's say you got a product and it was harmful and the business knew it, you're going to return that product, and what do you expect that business to do? Give you a refund. Now think about that in the way of the government. The government wronged you. You got the mask mandates. You hated that shit. You're not for the mask mandates. You got the vaccine mandates. You're against the vaccine mandates. You ain't for that shit. They're allowing, the rich to go scot-free without having to face any penalty whatsoever. You got, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson sending flying dicks into outer space, and you ain't pay for it. And you didn't tell them to do it. That's not what your representation is supposed to be. Guess what? Jeff, they owe you. Yeah, a refund. See, that's the point. Democrats are idiotic. They can't actually portray that. You should go out there into these rural areas and say that That's what I'm for. You say the government was trash. Don't you think you do a refund? Don't you think they should pay you money back? You're getting taxed without representation? The whole idea of taxation with representation is gone. You don't see anything for it. Your life is trash. But Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson can go out there in outer space and live up the lap of luxury, and then get refund checks, and they don't even pay for any bit of taxes. Guess what? The government, I'll go over there and say, guess what? That shit is over. You going out there and you paying the American people back that money. You look at your goddamn taxes and you owe them more? How are you owing them more and you working and they taking taxes out of your goddamn paycheck? You don't even get to say no, yay or nay to it. But they can say fuck it, they don't pay no taxes, and they get refund checks from the government. How you getting a refund check? Where you getting a refund from? How? You don't pay anything in taxes. Guess what? You go out there and you tell them, that shit is ending. I get in, you getting a refund check. That's what the Green New Deal is for. You'll be paid because you're an American fucking citizen. Since you're an American, you get paid by the government because we're going to do something that no other country can do. Because we want people to be jealous of us being Americans. Go back to having that respect of being an American. You go overseas, they don't respect you no more. It used to be when they go overseas, they see you and people try to gather around you. Because they have their notion that you have money. They don't. No matter if you're rich, no matter if you're a regular citizen, they treat you with the utmost respect. Just looking at you differently. Because your money was worth more than theirs. Your life is better than theirs. That's what the Green New Deal is about. Treating you better. You can become that individual. And the government is forced to do it. So you gotta look at it. The government ain't doing this because they like it. You're an American citizen. You are forcing the government to do it. You are forcing the government to give you money back. Because you paid your whole entire life into this system. But people like Jeff Bezos didn't pay shit. People like Ben Shapiro didn't pay shit. People like Tucker Carlson don't pay shit. Gone are those days. If you want to go on send flying dicks into space, pay for it and use your goddamn self. I'm going to force the government to give me money. Because this is my goddamn government. And they owe me that money. Because I worked fucking hard for my whole entire life for that money. For them to take it out so they can give it to goddamn Jeff Bezos who don't do shit. Hadn't worked in years. For those Christians out there like to say about the Bible. Well, remember the Bible talking about a man don't work, don't eat? Well, guess what? How many years has Jeff Bezos worked? Over the past 2 to 3, he hasn't. He hasn't even been at work for years. But he's making money. He's getting paid for it. And he's getting refund checks. What happened to that whole man don't work, don't eat shit? He eating pretty fucking good. It looks like it's the opposite way around. The man that works don't eat. Because all the regular Americans out there who are working hard aren't eating. You see, that's how you had to go out there and do this Green New Deal. You go out there and you tell them that. And that's how you do it. You tell them that, oh, yeah, this is no Green New, this is you. You're getting your monies back from this pathetic piece of shit of a government that we have. We are paying you money because you are a patriot. That's why you don't name it Green New Deal. Name it the Patriot Deal, like I would. Because we're doing this because you're a patriot. Because you're an American citizen. The government is actually working for you. You're his boss. All them people up there, them white and black, whatever the fuck you want to call them, all them people up there work for you. You are their boss. And as their boss, they're supposed to give you the money. They're supposed to be doing things for you. They're supposed to be listening to you. And now, that will force the government to do it. That's how you're supposed to portray it. But you can't do that. And that's how the Green New Deal is supposed to be. And that's what the Green New Deal really is. See, that's the point. She's not going out there and portraying it the right way. You got to portray it to the way that they can understand it. And once you do that, oh, wait, that's a big different story now, isn't it? That's why I say I would love to debate Ben Shapiro. I would love to be on Tucker Carlson. Point out this Patriot deal and watch how big and go out there and tell us to the people at a town hall how many people love it. Like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Oh my God, yeah. Oh shit, the government's gonna be doing what for me because I own it? I'm actually getting my money's worth for my taxes? Hell yeah. See, that's how you're supposed to do it. And that's why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to see how Ben did. He didn't have anything to go against it. He only made fun of it out of, weird ways that conservatives make fun of it because they don't understand it, because their brain ain't big enough. Like his brain doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough brain matter for it. It's too smooth to understand it. Well, that's what I'm going to end this podcast. This video. Got caught. This video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share the video. Later, guys.